How literally should we interpret the Bible? Like, did Jonah actually get eaten by a whale? You know, like that kind of thing.
Sir, to be honest with you, I read everything literally. What does that mean?
You literally read it?
Yes, but to read something literally means to respect the literary style. I read a poem literally as a poem. I read a biology textbook literally as a science textbook. I read a history book literally as an eyewitness account or written by people who knew the eyewitnesses about historical events. If you don't learn to respect literary style, you're not going to be very educated. So you've got to respect literary style. And I read everything literally, which means, first of all, I figure out, is this a poem? Is this a fairy tale? Is this historical narrative? Is this a science textbook? Second point, I read everything literally. What does that mean? It means I don't rip one line out of Macbeth and say, oh, this is Shakespeare's view of the world. No, you read in context. And you got to do the same with the Bible. You don't rip one line out of the Bible and say, that's the point of the Bible. When Jesus says in Luke 14, I tell you the truth, unless you hate your father and mother, your wife and children, you cannot be my disciple. It is a misinterpretation to say, Jesus is literally saying, hate mom and dad and hate your siblings. It's not what he's saying. But in order to understand that, you have to read in context. So I would encourage you, read everything literally. Meaning by that, not when Jesus says, I'm the light of the world, that he's claiming to be a 100-watt light bulb. No, he's not claiming to be a 100-watt light bulb when he says, I'm the light of the world. He's using it symbolically, metaphorically, to point out, if you want to understand direction in life, if you want to understand purpose, follow me.